WIIFTV PM.
WIIFTVP. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTVP. Media's just for you and me.
All roads lead to Solo Beauty Supply, the largest Black-owned beauty supply in Chicago. We carry a large selection of natural hair care products, plus much more. So come see us at one of our two locations, located at 9011 South Ashland or 8158 South Cottage Grove. Our inventory is growing, and with your support, Solo Beauty will continue to be a source of pride in our community.
Yeah. Ooh. I miss your kiss. Oh, your kiss is one of a kind. It feels so nice. Girl, you do it right. I miss. Oh, girl, you don't go too fast. You take your time. Just how I miss. Hey. Oh, you kiss it, then I'm drifting off your love. Keeps me floating, girl. I miss. Oh, and ooh, it feels so good. I wanna come down. Girl, I'm missing that love. Come on. Ooh, babe, I'm missing all those kisses. Baby, bring those lips to me. Oh, babe, I'm missing all those kisses. Baby, bring those lips to me. Come on. Oh, when you're not around, girl, I'm weak. I swear I be hearing things. Oh, and if I cannot have you, girl, I'm feeling. Oh, that's such a talent you bring. Yeah. Oh, and days too long. If I can hold you in my arms, if I can find a real good love. Ooh, that kiss is a drug to me. Baby, your kiss is all I need. Come on. Ooh, it feels so good, baby. Oh, come on. Ooh, babe, I'm missing all those kisses. Baby, bring those lips to me. I miss it already, girl. I'm missing all those kisses. Baby, bring those lips to me. I miss it already, babe. I'm missing all those kisses. Baby, bring those lips to me. Oh, babe, I'm missing all those kisses. Baby, bring those yours lips to me.
WIFTBPM.
Uh-oh, what's in it for the black people?
You are listening to the most dangerous show. It's What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happening in town. Southside burned and they couldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you can put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA gets spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And up to seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Wake up, Chicago! Wake up. That's all, folks. Wake up on Thursday. It is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm right here in the building. I was feeling a little Billy Bob Blackish, but I'm a chill. So it's the Maze Jackson Show right here on a Thursday. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, live in the building. It is Thursday, July 14th. We halfway through the month. Wait. Don't tell me payday is on a Friday.
It's a light one, man. Come on, you good. You got a whole vacation. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole vacation. You know, it's a light one. You ain't even going, you're going to be like, oh, it's good. There you go right there. Hit that sin.
Depend on what your name is. Right? All right, y'all. It is the 14th of the month, the day before the day I don't like. It's 2 days in the month I just don't like. It's been a big month, too. So, you know, it's been a lot of outgo, but not a lot of income. You know, I don't really like outgoes without incomes. I usually like to make sure that the outgo is definitely less than the income, but the outgo this month definitely exceeded the income, which therefore means that if I come in this mug tomorrow looking a little funky, don't be mad.
Just don't do it after the show. You be all right. You can't wake up and hit the button. And then,
I wake up and hit the. See, it depends on how I wake up. Now, the good thing is though, it ain't the first, right? Because the first day I gotta wake up. Like my problem is I can't wake up and hit one button. I just be like, let me just get it all, right? So then I just start getting madder and madder. So on the first, it's like the first be the worst because if I hit you before I hit the rent, like you good if I hit you before I hit the rent. Like if I see y'all on a Friday and it's the first, that's a problem. That's a problem because that's everything be like, and I can't just hit. Once I'm in there, I just be like, go ahead. And you just watch it go do. You be like, you know what?
Auto pay.
Nah, hell
That way
no.
you don't got to worry about it. It just happens for you, Maze.
Man, he forgetful.
It'll help your
man.
psychology.
Can you imagine him forgetting to take off auto pay?
I'll be at your house.
It's been 8 months. Ruthie, you ain't take the auto pay off for 8 months, Ruthie.
Man.
I ain't say nothing because I thought you know. I thought you
That's exactly. That's exactly how it would be too. Then talking about I ain't know. I thought you wanted me to have it, and you ain't been here for like 6 months, man. I ain't know. I thought that was severance. You said I was a manager.
I was good until making sure I was good.
I thought I got unemployment from me then. All right. So I was just gonna tell y'all, it is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm excited today, guys. We have app. I know y'all are gonna be like, what? But I was thinking about this, and I guess maybe this is what triggered it. But today on the show, Abstract Mindstate will be here, or not be here, but they will come in live. They're gonna be performing this weekend at the Silver Room Block Party. And it's just a throwback to the old days. I know y'all be like, oh God, here he goes with the 90s, but it was the golden era of, well, at first I used to think it was the golden era of Chicago hip hop because I thought Kanye was gonna be like the maximum, but now we like Chicago is like a pop off spot. Like people expect you to go somewhere from Chicago. Like it used to be you was never going nowhere, and so it's gonna be pretty cool to talk to Old School Ice Gree. He was part of a group called Abstract Mindstate. I don't know if y'all know the Sprite mixtape that I did years ago, but they were on it. And they were part of the first wave of black people that left Chicago to go on to be successful. And Old School Ice Gree went on to be Kanye's manager. You'll see him. You've seen him in a documentary. But he never lost his love of rapping. And he and EP back in the day were like you know how everybody got a group that they think is gonna be the next one, and they finna go, and it was like people was starting to pop off in Chicago, and it was just turning into and he wound up helping Kanye fulfill his dreams.
Oh.
And you know what I'm saying, was his manager through all of the big stuff. And one day he said Kanye called him up and said, hey man, the world needs y'all music again. And so you're going to hear it made me think, because you know I always be talking about rappers that be older. But they got their album Dreams Still Inspire. I was listening to some of the tracks. Well, I'm actually featured in a documentary too.
Oh.
Because I was one of the people, you know how you be like, Chicagoans used to hate on Chicagoans. Still do.
City of haters.
Right. And my thing was, being from Bolingbrook, let me put everybody on. Right? I want everybody. So anyway, I'm excited to talk to them because we're going to get it's great to see people still living their dreams. And it's like, it's as all of our peers and all of the people from the 90s hip hop start to get their flowers that were part of the industry, like the Cooties, the Cootie and Danny Sword. Y'all remember Danny came on with us. He was the masked cannabis man. They were the founders of Channel Zero. Right? And they were the people who, like, you see all of it's like that whole crew. Like, we used to go stay when Tennille and I would go to New York, there was like a whole Chicago contingent in New York, and you could just go and you find yourself in the midst of all of this great creative community. So we're going to be talking to Old School Ice Gree at about Old School Ice Cream and Abstract Midstate Dag. They'll be performing at the Silver Room Block Party this week, but they'll be with us today at 7:30. I'm looking forward to having the conversation, the journey, and really never giving up on your dreams. Like, you make fun of people who rap, but then I was listening to the music. I was like, I need some grown man rap. I did get my credit together. I did drop some old bad thing. You be like, dang, discoveries. So anyway, man, I can't wait to talk to them, And shout out to my man, Lee Majors. Lee been with us forever and ever and ever and ever. And he finally went back because old school. It's like when your people be like, man, I'm finna hit the road. And they call you up and be like, man, we got to put the band back together. Right? And so shout out to Abstract Midstate, who is going to be here in Chicago, and they wanted to be in the studio. If they would have flown, they was going to come in, but their flight don't get here till 9 o'clock. So they couldn't come in tomorrow. But anyway, we'll talk about it. We'll talk to them a little bit later. Ruthie Moore, how you feeling today?
Good. It's good to hear you talk about your hip-hop past that you were, basically immersed in. Like, some of your stories are, crazy. Your interweavings into the culture.
It's crazy to look back.
I don't think people would believe this stuff unless you actually showed them your artifacts that you have.
I think my Bolingbrookness will never allow me to get my full Chicago due. Mm-hmm. But it was my Bolingbrookness that was made me. You know that song, The Vapors? Mm-hmm. I feel like I lived that literally in Chicago when I came back. I just wanted to be down. And I used to ask all the hip-hop crews, man, I want to be, I just want, and they wouldn't let me in. So one day me and Big Swill said, because Big Swill's getting dissed by the West, because he was from the West Side. And, all the Chicago hip-hop people was from the South Side. They had all the fresh clothes, and they was polos and right. Riis, you cannot be singing La Ride. You was doing the low rider with the 2 6s, man, or something. One of them Maniac Latin disciples over there with the Prosser guy.
Do it, die.
See that, but you know what?
What you talking about? I'm like,
can I tell you something? Chicago, Southside never gave them their props. Never. Now, you could go to the suburbs, you would get it. But, if you was south, that, whole 87th, them there, they was not giving it up. They was not. No. If you was from out west, they was not giving it to you. No. Don't.
Who rap from out west? I mean, from out south.
Common, Twilight Tone.
Are they
Riis.
Outside, you know how they be on 195th.
No, Common. No, it's
from the city.
Nah, dog. It was it's like a.
You can almost claim Kankakee at that point.
Nah, Riis. It was like a real close. It was like South Side and North Side. It was really them was the two. And it was kind of you had.
Who's rapping from up north?
Man, and I'm gonna have to pull out the Sprite mixtape and let y'all hear it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I was the integrator of the whole city. Right? Where I was yo, man, there was a hip hop community, but it was definitely divided. Cause Matt's crew, Drama Ward, all of that was West, straight West. I remember when we tried to record the Sprite mixtape, man, the Southside mugs didn't want to come. They submitted their tracks via they just gave us tapes.
Where was it at?
On North Avenue.
See, that's where you lost them at, right there. Right there. As soon as you didn't say 76 or 83rd in, so as soon as you said, they was send that in. And then it was way back in the day, so they had to hit the library and print out MapQuest too. You was asking for too much.
Then we didn't have MapQuest. Fam, first of all, we didn't have MapQuest. We just knew how to get around.
But I'm just saying,
there was no MapQuest. That's the point, though. That's again. Look, bro, I'm just telling you. It was I really, man, I want to have that conversation one day. I feel like this audience is gonna be don't nobody want to hear that. But hey, man, it was. I feel like though my Bolingbrookness will never Bolingbrookness and our out westness is what made us. Like it made us because you couldn't deny us, right? But they really did not want to show us no love, but because we had Sprite, we had Sprite and Coke, you couldn't deny us. So it was just like, all right, we finna make a space up in here. Then that's when we signed TSP. We had DJ Opsky. We had man, boy, Universal Maze Jack Enterprises, boy. We was a good we used to have a Maze Jack Army. Boy, okay, I'm gonna stop. You thought No Limit was something? Ooh-wee. You thought we thought we was and here goes the difference between us, Riis. I'm gonna just tell you. Our street teams, like out south and like all the professional street teams before we got in the game, they all had college interns. Out west gave us a different kind of college intern. Right? So like when you say you went to college to certain brothers, they was like, yeah, I went to college. I went to the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. Then you went to other brothers, the ones we had, that we was like, you went to college? They was like, yep, Sheridan, Menard, right?
Street High.
Look, and so it would be like we would all show up at George's Music Room, and that was the only thing that people out south recognized really, was George's Music Room.
It was on Roosevelt, so it was still a little bit.
No. George's Music Room was the heart. Come on, it's Roosevelt, but it's west. Come on, you gotta go. You can't get to George's off of 290 unless you go off of 290. You take the street to George's, you got to ride all the way through. And this is the 90s. So we still, all of that's still black. Douglas Park, all that black. That's still black. Speaking of that, Riis, do you know they trying to close down the circle?
Try to close down the circle every year.
No. We're going to talk about that, too. We're going to talk about that, too. Yeah, but they done changed. The white folks done moved over there. We're going to talk about that, too. Anyway, it's the Maze Jackson Show. Y'all stay tuned because you can see I'm a little excited at 7:30. We're going to be talking a little bit about, we're going to have some throwback. We're going to talk a little history of Chicago hip-hop because back in the day, I would have thought we was too young. This was too young, but dad, we all 50 now. Right, I be watching the hip hop specials when they be showing like my favorite rappers and stuff, and they be old, and I be like, dang, you don't look like Run DMC. Actually, even though black people don't crack,
that's true.
Unless they cracked, then it be like, did you watch Supreme Team?
What's that?
You know about the Supreme Team? You don't know about the Supreme Team, like Preem, like how in all New York rappers wanted to be with Preem from New Queens, the New York drug team.
I'm familiar with the name, but I didn't watch.
So Nas did a documentary on it. You should check it out. It's the Supreme Team.
Where it's on Netflix?
No, it's on Showtime. Let me get your log.
Let me get your log. I'm sick of all these subscriptions.
All right, y'all. I was talking though. I still didn't let. She was talking then. She was quiet. Now she gonna talk again. Ruthie Mo, how you feeling today?
Good. Do anybody still got a regular cable package?
I do.
Like where you get all the channels?
DirecTV.
So you don't even be having all them subscriptions. Mm-hmm. You just be having the login.
I got no. I have DirecTV and I have YouTube TV and I have Showtime and I don't have like because you get all these things and they start to come free with it, but then like don't let it be a show I want to watch. That's on the subscription.
So you got the cable package and the subscription.
And I really feel like I really do feel like I could probably cut the cord. Like I really do feel, it's just like I feel scared to do it.
I mean,
I do because like all the movies,
you really don't need it.
I don't, but it's just the whole
just
thing.
Just in case.
It's like what it took to get rid of a landline. It literally took like how your mom be like, you always gotta have a home phone.
Yes.
Right? Now you don't. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. And Ruthie Moore said, good. DJ Riis, the rule on the ones and the twos. I see you Jordaned out today, dog. I could tell. Riis, sometimes I could just see your hat, right? See your hat, little glasses. But Riis, DJ Riis, the ruler. You Jordan. You feeling like the GOAT, the greatest in all time. What's up, DJ Riis? How you feeling today on this Thursday?
Blessed by the best. You know, the best come from out west, but I'm good. How you doing today?
Hey, Riis.
How you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You know, so it's weird. Because, you know, I've always, like, I came from Bolingbrook and then I always lived on the south side. But south side was always super bougie. So they never would show me no love. But if I went out south, I was like, not a rock star, but you know what I'm saying? Like the west side was like, man, come on. So I gotta. Whew. I was just thinking, like, even when you lived in Beverly with pride, you can't go to the bars on the block. Like, black people be excited to live in, and I'm not tripping. I'm not hating on nobody in Beverly. Because it's like you trade the safety, you know, or the I don't know. We're going to talk about, you know what I'm talking about? Do y'all know what I'm talking about? You have been, like, you know, you get to live in the neighborhood, but you can't go everywhere in the neighborhood. You're not welcome everywhere in the neighborhood. Why you make that face, Ruthie? Why you being a hater?
Oh, no, I'm not. I mean, I'm not hating. I ain't mad that people
protect their own neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, and too, I think it also just speaks to, like, the entertainment districts that are lacking in some neighborhoods, and how, I guess, if you want those entertainment districts, you got to police them yourself. No pun intended.
Well, because if you do have your entertainment district, as we did on 75th, then there'll be a mass shooter and nobody will ever find them.
So I get it. You do got to protect your neighborhood, and I think it's a different feeling kicking it in your own neighborhood too. Like,
right. That's what the thing is, though, it's some black people neighborhood too. You know what I'm saying?
They probably go to.
No, they don't.
Like, maybe it's some other ones they go to.
They go to the fire brigade. They go to the black neighborhood.
I mean, I ain't even mad that people got stuff that's theirs.
I want my
think everybody
own.
Exactly. So I'm not even mad.
That's why we gotta have the Club Wiftaba.
Yeah.
The Obsidian. Meet us there. All right, y'all. It's Maze, Riis, and Ruthie. We are in the building. Let's get the soul plane up to 60,000 feet. Let's get it up, 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 and away. Yes, I am your host, Maze Jackson. In case y'all did not see, Dr. Wilson released his crime plan yesterday, and he said, uncuff the police. He said, look, he tired of y'all. He tired of people playing around with y'all, these police. And they asked him about what did he believe about concealed carry. He said, look, in Indiana, you cannot conceal. You got to show. In Indiana, you got to ride with it on your hip.
I didn't know that.
Hey, man, would you, if you could wear your pistol on your hip, would you?
Oh, versus not having it at all?
No. Versus having it hidden.
No. Oh my goodness, no.
You wouldn't?
No.
Man, I'll be like, I have my junk right across my chest.
No.
Go ahead.
That ain't nobody's business what you got. Because then people they be on that sometimes.
Okay.
Nah, because then it like eliminated. That's why it like eliminated, because everybody got a gun. So,
right, you start saying, look, you look in the room, you be like, another room. Okay.
It's like a face tattoo. Somebody told me people don't get face tattoos for themselves. They get them to scare other people.
Right.
And so I agree with that. And I think that's what
right.
Carrying your junk on your hip is like that's for other people.
Chunk.
A face tat, you be like, what the?
You a face tat, you be like, they got nothing to lose.
Right.
They have nothing to lose.
I know you ain't got no jobs interview lined up this week.
But nowadays, man, I see a lot of people. I feel like young people are ruining their lives at like 15 with these face tats and stuff. Listen to Lil Wayne.
Not ruining their lives.
Ruthie, who you hiring with a face tat?
It depends.
Okay, right. To dig a
dig.
Would you hire? What about your lawyer? Would you hire a lawyer? Would you hire a lawyer
with the scales of justice? Yes. If they got a little scales of justice tier tat.
With the scale to the
Ron, what if it was like a tier?
That's what I'm saying.
Scales of justice tier.
That's what I'm saying. I hired them. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If you was playing for 20 years or not 20 years, would you wear?
With scales of justice tat? Yes.
Okay. You be like, you want 20? Yes.
They got a gavel on one side. Yes.
The judge will feel
You're
like
hired.
You're hired, right? And you are going to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Ain't no way a lawyer with the scales of justice and a gavel tatted in a teardrop on their face gonna lose.
And
that's a winner.
And not guilty on your knuckles too, huh? Not guilty.
Yes.
Your Honor, I stand before you, ready to send my client to hell.
Yeah,
What? You ain't got no hope.
Not with you with no face tat. I don't care what you got on it. And you my lawyer?
Even if they graduated #1 out of Harvard.
Oh, yep. No, hell no.
See, and that's what I'm saying. That's discrimination already.
You playing with it with your 20 years?
Huh?
You got like 20 to life. You playing with it?
That's discrimination, like we
discrimination.
said.
You gonna argue that from jail?
Yeah.
Go ahead, millennials.
I'm gonna take it. I'm gambling because hopefully we get a reach out and then we sue them for discrimination.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
bam, that's what I'm talking about.
And your retrial come.
It's the cancel culture.
Your retrial come in 5 years after you've had to wash.
We take to the Supreme Court.
I need all y'all to write them letters. I need all the whip to start writing
Who
them
you want
letters.
to write them to, your celly?
Nah, to the people telling them
Dear
how they
Sally, please leave Riis alone while he wait for his trial.
I'm good. Well, see, but that's it though. So the fact, so that man. So let's just say, check this. So let's just say that he game banged to change his life around. Now he really went to Harvard, graduated.
Nigga, take it off.
#1.
Take it off.
All that.
Get it removed.
And that's gonna make him. That defines him right there.
For traffic court.
Do
it for traffic. 20 to life. 20 to life. Okay. This is if we're really wait.
Hold on, could your pastor have a tip?
Yeah, my pastor could.
What your pastor could? He could tell you. What your lawyer? Look at the world we in today.
Are you serious, James?
I used to.
First of all, if my y'all know if my pastor wear Jordans, I ain't going. Like if he wear Jordans on Sunday, I'm not going. I'm just telling you. No, that's just me. I'm saying if I gotta choose between a face tap for a lawyer or a preacher.
You going with the preacher?
Yes.
Wow.
Cause look.
See, we are in
I can go home and ignore everything that the preacher said. If my lawyer lose, Your Honor, hold on. So you betting 20 to life on the preacher or 20 to life on the lawyer? How are we having this conversation?
That's why our souls are so messed up.
You have the best lawyer in the land. He just has a face tat. That's all. That's the only thing. He has a 100%.
What you think?
Rate. He has never lost.
What you think? So what you think he gonna do when he get in front of Clarence Thomas?
He's gonna be professional. See, you're judging him off his face tattoo. It could have just been a decision that he made.
I know I'm judging him on whether I'm judging the odds. And this literally, if this is a real conversation, like if this is truly a real conversation, this is literally
sad.
My challenge with millennials. It could be as sad as you want. But it is the world we live in versus the world you want it to be. And if if it was your son, Riis, so here we go. Your son is facing 20 to life. Your son is facing 20 to life, and he has a choice between two lawyers. Mm-hmm. Right? He has the choice between, and we don't know who the judge is. We don't know what their background is. They didn't go to Harvard, though. They didn't go to Yale. You are in Southern Illinois.
I got you. I'm ready.
Your son has a choice between two lawyers. Are you advising him to take the lawyer with the face tattoo?
What race is the one with the face tattoo?
White. Both of them are white.
Can one of them be the other one? Like the one that dominates the court system?
It's two white. It's two white men.
You feel me, Ruthie?
Two white men. Now, two white men. Two white men.
I'm taking it. Two white men, either one of them, they good. It don't even matter. You just said two white men. They don't even see the face tattoo.
Okay.
None at all.
Okay.
And then if it, I don't know, but you know how we always joke that the best lawyer is, our Jewish lawyer. If it was a Jewish lawyer with a tattoo on his face, definitely we still good. Now if it's a black one, I feel like society will take it the wrong way, but that's for us to change it though. you trying to tell me that this man that just say he was a little kid, you know, like, I know kids are bad to be having tattoos in the 7th grade. He got to change his life around.
Who's telling that story? What you waiting on? You waiting on the judge to watch? Wait, you waiting on the judge to watch Change My Life or something? No, the judge is walking in the courtroom and he's looking at 2 judges, 2 cases. I mean, he's looking at 2 lawyers. He's looking at the prosecution and the defense, and your lawyer is sitting there with a face tattoo. He don't know him from Adam. He ain't seen his Lifetime special. He looking at the 2 people in the room.
I mean,
you telling your son, take the one with you. You're as his father.
He got like 100%.
Well, no, he ain't got no. He is an average. They're both average lawyers.
I mean, I'm already done right
Don't
there.
let him water down your argument.
It's okay
Reese.
though. I'm taking the man.
If he went to Harvard and he got a face tat,
and graduated and all that, I'm taking him, man.
Okay.
I'm taking him.
Got you.
I'm taking him.
You taking him too, Ruthie?
If
Your niece
I
is
knew
on the
his
line.
credentials,
Right.
if somebody went to Harvard, like got a face tat, like they can
Graduated
argue the
number
merits
1.
of the case. They know how to draft the proper motions and whatnot. Like just because they got
Working
a face
at the
tat.
Johnny Cochran firm, like he got a face tat.
Y'all keep
I'm
talking
taking
about
him.
like y'all. Okay, he got the face tat. He ain't covering it up. It's his marketing,
Right.
and he got.
Exactly.
Okay.
The scales of justice
Yeah, the
and a
justice.
gavel.
And the gavel.
The best
If I was a
lawyer
judge, I'd be like,
ever.
dog. You think you're a judge too? You also you got a gavel on your face. Okay,
But see,
I'm good.
but-
That's
but
good. I got it.
The judge
I can't
discriminate
argue
in that way. If
This
the
is-
judge discriminated in that way, then like we
that's what I'm
said, we got a
saying,
case.
like-
We taking it all the way to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
I don't understand how we just don't judge people on themselves. Like he has a tattoo. Like it's okay.
You can go to Harvard and have a tattoo on your face.
Yeah.
How many people from Harvard have a tattoo on their face
I don't know.
that are lawyers?
I mean, it's probably none at this moment.
You walk in
because only
Not
because of our minds to think of that way.
Because
Like,
the people who are not trying to go to jail do not want a lawyer. If you are playing for your life and you gamble and
we
yeah,
know
okay,
that.
that's okay.
I mean, like we know in like hindsight, we know that, but
But
we
I'm
know
saying you
that
would advise
only
your
because-
son.
That's just like saying if you had your son going to jail and you got
A black
2
lawyer?
lawyers, a black one and a white one.
I'm probably
Go on
going
and
to
pick-
say son. Son. Where's your case?
It's,
Where's it at?
it's the Southern, all white, all white.
Son. You picked the lawyer for the area. You picked the lawyer
the
the
black
lawyer
man
with
is
the
better.
most connections. You look for the lawyer that has the most relationships with the judges locally in the area.
That's good, Ruthie, man. We got it. 30, 40 years of you. 30, 40 years.
Yeah, when your son get out.
No, I'm just saying.
When he get out, it'll be all good. I'm not tripping. Let me say this. I'm not mad at your argument. Like I understand what you want it to be, and I'm not even telling you you're wrong. I
know how society has done it.
I respectfully agree. Like I was just watching this show last night, man, where dude was like, this is a black dude, and he was like the person that he took a test. It's like this Harvard test, and I think we're gonna make us all take it too. But he was like, after he took the test 3 times, he was a black man, and the person that he feared the most was black people. Like, and he was like a black scholar. And he was just talking about like the bias that is put into us, even as ourselves, and how everybody sees it. But he was like, here's the thing he said. It's like, it doesn't matter which prism you look at it through. The outcome doesn't change for the victim, right? So like the fact of the matter is, even if we agree it's wrong, like the victim still has to pay the price. Like there's a white viewpoint and a black viewpoint, like they were talking about like lynchings and stuff like that. And so even as we're talking about this, right? Like I 100% understand the prism through which you look at. And I think that you're right. Like it is bogus that you can't have a face tattoo, right? But we started this conversation with, if you got a face tattoo, you've already thrown your life away. And we, maybe not Ruthie, because I don't know if she was in on that, but we both said, damn, Joe, you got a face tattoo. You already like,
Because how we look at it.
Right. So now I'm just saying. So I'm not
I
even.
feel you. I'm just, but,
It is messed up.
It is.
But it's the outcome. Like you take a bet, we take a bet, right? If he loses, right, he going to jail no matter what viewpoint we took. And that's the unfortunate situation. Now you compound that with black. I will tell you this, Riis. I believe some white boy probably could get away with that. Like I do. I believe that there could be some white kid that puts some stuff on his eye that's a scale of justice. I don't think he could put the gavel because the judges have a very big ego. But I do believe a white boy could get away with that. I do not believe a black person could get away with that. I don't. So I do hear you. I hear both of y'all. I just think it's a big, that's a minute argument to gamble on to me. Sure. That's all. Right? Like now I'm saying if we're just doing this for this argument's purpose, then that's cool. But if you taking a gamble, I would be like, man, you want to give yourself the best shot. And you, even as far as, unless it's Columbo and his style is frumpy, or you notice this the cowboy lawyer that shows up with the hat, but he's the king of Texas. You want to give your children the best opportunity, the person that's going to has the respectability to operate in that universe. But I don't even know how the hell we got on this conversation.
I'm talking about face tattoo.
Face tattoo.
So kids that's listening, don't get a face tattoo. You cannot be a judge. You can only be a rapper, a basketball player.
Barber.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? A bar. You know, you can only be, or pastor.
You couldn't be my pastor.
As long as you don't wear Jordans.
No, if you
you can have a face tattoo but no Jordan. You cool.
So I gotta tell you, I do.
Like, you can only wear, your pastor's gonna wear Stacy out.
Gators.
On Sunday in the pulpit, I'm not there yet. I'm just not there yet. I'm not there yet.
It's Fifth Sunday. Ain't that like come as you are?
Now,
Ruthie,
now let me say this.
I got Ruthie drink.
Ain't it face tat Sunday?
It's Fifth Sunday.
Ain't it bring the brothers off the street Wednesday?
Can I tell you, I would be okay with like a once a month. Like, you like a youth service or whatever, and you let the young people pick, and everybody got to dress like to engage people. But I know it's I was watching this show last night though so I don't want to say get dressed up for church because Ruthie would be like the slaves had to get put, but they was. Oh my God. I was watching this thing last night on Netflix, and they was talking about how the white people got the slaves ready for the auction.
And greasing them up.
Shining them up, feeding them good food, dressing them up, plucking the hairs out, Oh, it was terrible. That's why you can't wear Jordan.
Get face tattoo.
Okay, so really, Riis. Your son wants to get a face tattoo. He says, Dad. You know what? I'm gonna be a graphic artist.
Hey, I was just gonna say his profession actually is media and camera right now, and how they always have all them tattoos anyway. So it wouldn't amaze me that. And my son is my son black, but I don't think he know he black. If you know what I mean?
Huh?
My son black, but I don't think he know he black. If you know what I mean?
No.
So he black, but he ain't like West Side.
Right,
yeah, exactly. Right. Okay, yeah, there you go.
He's been grown up in a diverse background.
There you go. So I mean, it wouldn't have. I would tell him how society would look at him. I would, say, son, these are the type of things that people would look at you differently. You probably, like, if you was to change professions, it'd be hard for you to probably get into a real professional profession. But I understand it. Your liberty to do that, but I'll let him know what are the odds of things that can happen. So you got to be a real good cameraman from here on out.
I would be like, do not do it. Don't do it. I'd be like, do not take the long way around.
What about a neck tattoo?
No.
Your son light skinned, so he can get the color.
He can get the lips on his. He can get the lips on his neck. Look at it.
He's like, no to the neck.
I really want to show y'all this picture of my son one day. Did I ever tell y'all about the day that? So when he was a little kid, he was like NBA fanatic, and so he would get these little tattoos. He would get the book of tattoos and put them on when he would play basketball. So it was my job to take him to basketball practice with his Uncle Donnie every day. And one day, it was hot as hell in the summer, right? It was hot in the mud. But he had on this sweatsuit, and he had it zipped up to his...
We need to talk about that.
He had it zipped up to his neck, right? I thought he was doing it because he was going to play at UIC. He had on a UIC sweatsuit. I had him some custom suits made.
Yeah, it's tacky.
I drop him off. I get about 6 blocks away.
He just tagged his whole body.
My big bro calls me back and he says, "Stop and come back here right now." I said, "Man, I'm on my way." Stop whatever you are doing right now and come back here right now. So I'm like, oh my God. Riis, I busted you, come back, pull up. Why does Maison have tattoos from here? He took I bought him a tattoo book where it's like 1,000 tattoos. He spent the whole night putting tattoos on so that when he put on his jersey and was ready to play basketball, he looked like
he was tatted.
Please tell me make him watch it up.
I thought it was so creative.
Right, yeah. Well,
and I feel like if I was a kid, I probably would have got beat for that.
Yeah, for sure.
But I feel like what was it was hilarious.
All right, I would have died laughing.
But what is the harm? But I feel like you would have gotten in trouble as a kid. I would have gotten in trouble if that was me as a kid. I was in the bathroom. I was getting a whooping. But yes,
you took a picture of it.
I got it. Yeah, I'm gonna show it somewhere in the day. I'm gonna find it because I got it because it was, and I made him take because it wasn't like he just did his arms. I made him pull up his shirt because he had it all over his little chest, all over his stomach, the whole thing.
Yeah, when I get fouled and they hit my shirt up, they gonna see it when I get fouled. When I hit a shot and I bring my shirt up,
But here go the thing now, man. So I was at the DMV the other day, right? I went to Department of Motor. Shout out to the Secretary of State's office. I know everything we say, but they are super efficient and the people are super cool over there. But I saw, tattoos now and then mean something different. Because, if I saw a black dude with a tattoo back in the day, he was either in the service or he was in a gang. Right? I seen this dude the other day. He might have been 75. And I could just see the tattoo. I was like, oh, yeah. Yep. Tattoo. Now you see people with these tattoos. If you saw somebody back in the day with a tattoo, you assume some level of hardness. Can I agree? Can we agree with that? I feel like back in the day, if you had a tattoo, first of all.
How far back, though?
I gotta say 70s. Okay. 70s, 80s.
Even in our age, if you got something young, if you was in school, if you was one of them 7, I knew 7th graders with tattoos. It was oh my God, you really got a tattoo.
Right, but they was doing the ink. Right, they was but yes. I'm talking about
tattoo from Tattoo Tim. You know Tattoo. Everybody got a tattoo from Tattoo Tim.
Who's Tattoo Tim?
From out west, man. Everybody know Tattoo Tim.
Tattoo parties.
Yeah, so But in 7th grade, that did made me look at somebody yo, you crazy? You got a tattoo in 7th grade?
What your mama say?
Yeah,
what you say with your mama?
I feel that whooping right now for you.
Huh?
They parent probably took him to get it.
Man, look. But I do feel back in the day, cause the tattoos most of the brothers had back in the day, they was the needle tattoos. They was needle thread ink. There was the love moms. Right? There was the 6-point with the right. You might see you could see the staff. There was a lot of things, but I feel if you had a tattoo back in the day, even if you had a designed one, you was for real. Now I feel you see a dude with tattoos and you assume they hard, when they play basketball and they soft as jello.
No, I don't. You shouldn't assume that.
I'm not. Let me say this.
Because everybody getting them now.
I'm saying on basketball. In basketball, I feel
they got the money, so I think theirs is more
yes, the intricacy.
Exactly, and it's about the the
art.
color, and so they're on a whole nother level. And too, I think theirs is marketing and branding. You know how they got to pay to get them in the video games and all that. It's a part of their brands.
They got to pay to get them in the video games.
So yeah, you used to be able to put their their body art into video games. Like if you play like 2K, for example. But then the tattoo artists start to be like, hold on, you got to pay us for putting in
art. It's my art if it's on my body, fam. They got to pay me. But that's deep. So anyway, but like I feel like tattoos have evolved. Like now everybody has a tattoo. I feel like if you had a tattoo in the 70s, you was basically stating, test me if you want to. And like if a woman had a tattoo, she was in a motorcycle gang.
Motorcycle gang, good one.
Right? Like what if you saw a woman with a tattoo in the 80s or the 70s, you was assuming she might shank you.
Not shank.
That or she was dating. No. What? Okay, Ruthie. I'm just
I
saying.
don't have too many older aunties and stuff with tattoos.
That's exactly my point. That like the tattoo phenomenon before the like these 2000s. I think this is all of Allen Iverson, but what Cassandra said, you had negative tattoos had negative connotations back in the 80s. It meant you were trailer trash, jailbird, or a gang member. I could see that. That's
true. Good one. Good summation.
Dang, that was not politically correct.
Yes, it was.
Trailer trash?
Back then.
What? Is that, I think, do not get a letter.
But don't say that now, though.
What?
Don't say that.
That what is trailer, first of all?
A distinct connotation. Like, come on now. They can't take every
yes, they can.
What do you call words you use?
That is that is home choice discrimination.
No, it's not. Because living in a trailer and trailer trash are two different things.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What is the distinction?
If you live in a trailer, you're not necessarily trailer trash.
What is
you could be trailer trash and live in a house.
Really?
Yes.
What is trailer trash?
Really, my understanding just from hearing it from context clues is when you call somebody trailer trash because they don't live in a house. So you say they live in the trailer, which is their like mobile home. So you kind of like say you don't have enough money to have a home, so you're trailer trash.
Trailer
I don't
trash
know.
ain't got nothing to do with where you live.
Interesting. But
so does it have to do with your conduct?
Yes.
Okay.
It's your conduct.
So you can live in a trailer
and not be trailer trash.
I'm not saying that at all. I wasn't implying that, I guess.
The trailer trash is more like a state of mind.
Like
a way of being.
Now, how
a way
is that?
of looking. A way of doing. The tattoo and the Coors Light.
Coors Light? Coors Light? Who drinks Coors Light?
Trailer trash.
I thought Coors was like supposed to be a desirable beer.
I'm just talking.
I remember when they first got Coors
I'm
in
just
Illinois.
being funny.
Okay.
I don't.
But
I do think
the housing advocates
trash
are going to write a letter about you.
Trailer trash ain't got nothing to do with living in a trailer. Like it derived from that, from the idea of a trailer park and white people in the trailer park, poor white people in the trailer park, and so the term now has evolved into trailer trash. So think that like the tattoo, the little heart tattoo.
Ooh, how you know about what? So is that like a style though? Like how did that evolve into like that? Like does that mean that like you accept that you are that?
I think some people,
revel in it.
Exactly. Think about them.
Like the greasers.
No. It's what's that comedian that Get Her Done? That's like you can make a spider web that to trailer trash. That idea, that mindset. Like people, they like that. Like they probably, like they might like being, I ain't gonna say they probably like being called trailer trash, but it's like a state of being. Like people, like I don't want to call it a badge of honor, but
like sort of
it's
like
a culture.
Okay. Like, okay.
Get her done.
Okay. All right, I guess trailer trash. I've learned a little bit today. All right. Duck Dynasty.
Yes. Good
wait.
One. Get her done.
Do they like black people or not?
You know what? I think it depends. Well, no, because the thing that keeps them going is they ain't black.
Oh.
So you can be trailer trash, you can be whatever, but as long as you ain't black, you good.
At least I'm not around.
Exactly. Get her done.
Oh.
Let's go to NASCAR.
Did I tell you about the time I went to NASCAR? Look, I scared you.
We can't take our flags anymore.
Did I tell you about the time I went to NASCAR? I was an invited guest because NASCAR was trying to diversify, and I had to drive through the gauntlet of Confederate flags in Joliet. Ruthie, I've had some really
They done
amazing...
banned the Confederate flag in NASCAR.
Huh?
They banned the Confederate flag.
So they can't have General Lee. Do y'all remember General Lee?
The dude?
No, the car.
Oh. They named the car General Lee, and it was a Confederate flag wrap on it.
Did you not watch the Dukes of Hazzard? We all wanted to be Dukes of Hazzard when we were 70s, and we all wanted to drive the General Lee. And we all wanted cars where we didn't have the doors didn't open and we could just jump in and drive off.
That was the name of the car for real in Dukes of Hazzard?
General Lee.
What the heck?
That's where Daisy Dukes came from.
The shorts or the person? The
Daisy
lady?
Duke wore Daisy Dukes.
Okay.
The shorts that you now know of as Daisy Dukes were really the shorts that Daisy Duke wore on Friday nights
In the Dukes
at
of Hazzard.
8 o'clock on the Dukes of Hazzard on channel, where Uncle Jesse and Bo and Luke were hillbillies, and I don't think they were trailer trash. They were hillbillies that lived in the Old South.
Fine line between those two things.
And the General Lee was the orange car that had the Confederate flag on the hood that at least all I know is the brothers was in my neighborhood was playing the Dukes of Hazzard, and everybody wanted to be Bo, not Luke.
I don't know who that is. I just know that it was a TV show. Then it was a movie that came out
The
recently.
movie was different, though. The movie was like a cornball
They took
comedy.
out the racism, probably.
Was it still the General Lee? Did they still have a
no
car
idea.
with the Confederate flag on it? Like, I mean,
in the new movie, I have no idea.
everybody I know wanted the Dukes of Hazzard, wanted a General Lee Matchbox car or a Hot Wheels.
With the Confederate flag on it.
With the Confederate flag, with the hood that popped up. Nobody even knew. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Look, I don't know how we've talked about any of the stuff that we've talked about, but we're going to do it, and then what?
You better check your phone. You probably got a message saying you ain't do the headline.
Look, my producer, my remote producer,
Yeah,
like, if you don't get your butt back.
Headlines. The Saints already been here for 30 minutes already.
The Saints, and I ain't even saying hello to the Saints. They like, who in the heck is this Bo and Luke Duke and trailers? And man, and Ruthie, you gotta be careful because we reach all the way to Kankakee, so we might have hit some people. Hit dogs holler. I've been finding that out.
How you think I know what trailer trash is? I'm from rural Chicagoland.
Ruthie, but I thought there's not black trailer trash.
No, black people cannot be trailer trash.
Thank you. So then how you lived in a black neighborhood?
What?
Did they was they on the other
diverse?
So you did
I
did
have
you
white
have
friends.
Did you have white trailer trash friends?
Yes. Went to school with them. That's how I know. This is like a I know you know some white trailer trash people.
Not really.
Really?
I know some prejudiced white people, but I don't really know trailer trash people.
There are some poor white people.
Do they drink beer in the daytime too?
What? Who don't drink beer in the daytime?
What? Okay, look, y'all, this is the
Everybody
Maze.
drink beer in the daytime.
No, they don't. Beer is after 5. Look, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll take a break and we'll be back after these messages. I don't know what show this is, but we're gonna get to it at some point. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
WIIFT PM. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me.
Maze Jackson.
Tune in to the Maze Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m., where you can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Plus, from 6:30 to 8, you can get us on WBGX 1570 a.m. That's right, it's the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them, Maze said. We out of here. Peace.
Smiling more every day, closer to my dreams. Hey, guapole, the food tastes better. I stopped smoking squares, healing from the inside out, making repairs. I forgave some people, thanked them for the lessons, cause holding on to it was blocking my blessings. No more stressing, worry dishonors God, so I just pray, and I'm loving my odds. Mingle with like minds, gravitate where light shines. Graduate, masters, your rhymes ain't like mine. Big Dank from the west side, this is my best self. Taking vacations, hoping the rest helps. Got a career now, loving what's ahead. My spirit is free from the stuff that I shared.
Feel good now, ain't that what life's about? Thank you for new days, something to sing about. Let's do it a new way, more than just talk about. Today's a holiday, that's what it's all about. I feel good now, ain't that what life's about? Thank you for new days, something to sing about. Let's do it a new way, more than just talk about. Today's a holiday, that's what it's all about.
I'm feeling so good now, walking on higher ground. Got out the country, visit some new towns, made some new friends, let go of some bad ones. Soon as that took place, everything got fun. My lifestyle going up, opportunities showing up. I'm back where I wanna be, no headaches and throwing up. Reconnect with the homie, it's positive energy, vibes and wavelengths. It's all about frequency. I'm back with my first love, it feel like the first time. I'm back in the studio, this ain't my first rhyme. I wake up every day, blessed is heavenly. Before I ain't say much, now I got much to say. Raised my credit score, got rid of some past debt. Heard that's attractive, well call me a magnet. Plugged into an outlet, living life outright. All on my kid Cudi, focusing day and night. Right?
Now ain't that what life's about? Thank you for new days, something to sing about. Let's do it a new way, more than just talk about. Today's a holiday, that's what it's all about. I feel good now, ain't that what life's about? Thank you for new days, something to sing about. Let's do it a new way, more than just talk about. Today's a holiday, that's what it's all about.
Feel good. See, Midstate gets busy. That's the cardinal rule.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in it for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
If you ain't trying to help us, don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies, not other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze and Riis and Ruthie and Ty, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't trying to help us, they ain't trying to do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect, you oppress the soul.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world! This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Ruthie Moore. I was about to be Ruthie MF, but I was Ruthie Moore and my man DJ Riis the Ruler, breaking new music. That's right, breaking new music by the Abstract Mind State. Now, Abstract Mind State will be on with us today at approximately 7:30. I'm going to be talking to my man Old School Ice Gree, as well as EP the Hellcat. Right? Like, you should never, ever give up on your dreams because your dreams still inspire. I'm looking forward to the conversation with Old School Ice Gree and EP the Hellcat. We go back to the 90s in hip-hop. And there were a lot of people from Chicago who really put it down that you just don't know. Like, I think, like, you all now know Chicago as a place where music is birthed and you can be from Chicago. Mm-hmm. There was a time when you were from Chicago and people said you would never make it, and so you had to leave. Or you felt like you had to leave. And there are people who said they were going to continue this dream and keep on pushing. And my man, Old School Ice Gree, man, he went around the world. You seen him in a documentary with Kanye. He is back. They are back together, though. I'm going to stop because I'll tell y'all all about them. But, yes, to those of y'all that was asking who was that is Abstract Mind State. Grown folks, hip-hop. Doing it 40 plus, putting some positive inspiration, man, out in the universe. I can't wait to talk to him. We're going to talk about the golden era. Actually, I'm going to have to call it the pioneer era of Chicago hip-hop. I think I went through the pioneer up to the golden. And if it was golden, then there's a platinum and something else, because I thought Kanye was the tip top. But I feel like y'all done turned us into a hip-hop mecca some kind of way. Drill, at least. You go anywhere.
Shout out Chief Keef. Chief Keef did it.
He left. He had to
hold on, Kanye did it too. Don't trip.
Kanye did it, but Chief Keef opened it up for like everybody. That's
who
the reason
put.
why.
Didn't he put on Chief Keef a little bit too though?
Yeah.
Didn't he take
did.
Didn't he identify that genre, which then put it to a place, which then made Lear Cohen be like, again.
He definitely did.
Know your hip hop history.
Yeah.
Don't see, this the problem.
What's the problem, man?
The problem is y'all don't respect y'all roots.
People just don't be knowing.
So you don't be that's why you be saying disrespectful stuff.
I mean, but is it disrespectful if it's based out of ignorance because you just don't know?
He did leave though. You're right. He did go to New York. Chief Keef, you did say he did become famous off a video that he made inside of his living room. So
I'm just saying, like, here go the lick, right? We're just gonna talk about, and it's not even shade, and I'm not gonna be like the old guys that be like, you gotta give up. I just want y'all to know that there was a struggle. Mm-hmm. Like, there was a time when you could not hear Chicago music in Chicago on the radio. Mm-hmm. You could not get music played. Like, it was pioneers that we had a thriving hip hop club scene that gave audience to our own music. I'll never forget when John brought out the Go Getters, and it was Kanye, Mickey, and Christina, right? And Christina and Mickey went on to sign with Cash Money.
You was there.
Kanye went on to become. I mean, they like y'all. They protested WGCI for not playing Chicago music.
What?
Man, y'all, you just don't know. It's funny. The guy who did the media for Fritz Kagi against us, his name is X-Man. We were all hip hop together. He did the first. They were the largest hip hop selling group on the internet at one point. Y'all know we shut down the House of Blues,
like
the Chicago hip, because they
protested
it and forced them to open the doors because they was letting people perform hip hop from everywhere in the world but Chicago, in our own hometown. And so that's a whole era that we're going to be talking about. And I'm sorry if that's going to bother some of y'all, but it is what we're going to talk about at about 7. I can't wait to talk to Old School.
That's some primary source information right there.
Okay, so then let me get through some of these headlines because I got to get y'all some news. Did I say what's up to the Saints? What's up to the Saints who have been listening to us on WBGX 1570 AM? You check us out every day, 6:30 to 8. On WBGX 1570 AM or the TuneIn app. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Or If you are one of the centers, you join us at 6 and you stay till 9. You get here early, you stay late. You can catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Okay, let me run through some of these headlines very quickly. Did you see Dr. Wilson, I told you yesterday, released his crime plan? His crime plan suggests that we need to, he's going to cut universal basic income. He's going to increase opportunities for the basic services of people and the needs of people. But he said, uncuff the police.
That's clever. That's going to be his slogan.
I don't know if that's going to be a slogan, but I do think it is a recurring thing that we got to talk about because it's interesting. With crime being the top issue, it's going to be interesting to see how black candidates navigate the space.
It's going to be very binary. This or that.
You can get with this or you can get with that. You can get with this or you can get with that. You can get with who's going to be with the that though? Because the this is lock them up.
See, that's interesting. I think it's going to be hard to toe the line. I think black candidates are going to have to take extreme views on crime, either this way or that way. And if you straddle the middle, you're going to get left behind in the field.
Man, I'm going to tell you.
But only a black person can likely take the extreme
Eric Adams, the extreme right wing, the extreme.
Only a black candidate.
I think you heard me say that before.
No, actually, I actually made that analysis when I looked at the whole Richard Irving campaign, and I said that's why they have a black candidate, because a black candidate can be tough on crime. That's why I think Paul Vallis is gonna struggle, because ain't nobody a white man certain stuff you can't say.
I think that in this environment, it's going to be a lot of stuff that a white man can say. If you look at the split and he plays the black, so if he plays the black-white card and you still stay with 5 black candidates and 1 white man, if you look at the kind of how the city split during the last election that we were just looking at in the city, where there was a comparison between a black man and a white man and a black woman, you saw that the city kind of split along racial lines. Black, white, and the Latinos sided with the black. Like, we can't win it 100% on our own. And I think when you get in a binary race, I think the white folks ain't coming back to the mayor. They just not. So she's got to figure out how does she bring how does she get the maximum black turnout for her, as well as then peel off some of the Latinos or find a niche of white folks that will stick with her. But if you look at how this last race just split, I thought it was a very interesting analysis for the mayor in a one-on-one race if she were to make it to the primary. Make it to a runoff. A black woman versus a white man, I don't know that, and with crime being the issue, I don't know what the mayor's path to victory is, but we're going to talk about it. Because I know while we talk about crime, did you know Chicago was rated the number 2 city in the whole entire world?
For crime?
No, as the best.
Oh, who did the ranking?
Time Out Chicago. Not Time Out Chicago, Time Out magazine. But I feel like Time Out has replaced Condé Nast in that space. They said Edinburgh was first, though. I was like, what the hell is Edinburgh? Edinburgh, Scotland? What data?
Exactly.
Here's
how
a
they
vote.
Face this.
That's who gave away the most freedom.
If it's about entertainment and stuff, and they probably ain't putting crime into the metric, then, of course, like this is a world-class city.
Yeah, I think that they don't put crime into the metric, and I think it's the paradigm through which because white people, when they come to the town, don't really suffer from the crime. You think they do?
I think they do.
You do? You think they be putting
these white
TripAdvisor? What do they put on TripAdvisor and be like Chicago bomb it?
You better look at Reddit and some of these other websites where they be talking.
Oh, you gotta tell me where to go look so I can see what they be saying.
I can't even. That's why, I think when that's why I believe that they are so tough on downtown crime, because those be tourists. Like, if I'm downtown and I see a group of people on divvy bikes coming toward me, I'm gonna move out the way. But if you're a tourist, you might think they just taking a little friendly bike stroll too.
Oh, so they be what's the bikes called? They be divvy robbing people.
Yeah, I know you saw the group of people robbing the people on the divvies.
So how does it look? Like they just roll up on you and it just be a mob?
You got to make second judgment decisions. Do they have on athletic wear? If you got on athletic wear, more than likely, maybe you really out here with a group of people riding the bike. But if you got on your Timberland boots and your jeans, you probably ain't exercising.
What's the best?
You hitting licks.
What's the best defense?
Awareness. Yes. To be aware. That's why, like tourists, they don't know. That's why they stay away from all black people.
Got it. All right. Yesterday was Sam Greeley Day. Do you know who Sam Greeley is? Mm-mm. Sam Greeley wrote the book. He's an author and a poet, but he wrote the book, The Spook That Sat Beside the Door.
Oh, yeah.
And they wouldn't let him film it in Chicago, even though it was about Chicago. So yesterday was declared his day. He would have been 92 years old. He lived in Chicago all of his life. Was a Chicagoan, but was never celebrated. Yesterday he got his day. I don't know if you saw the story of the officer who struck Miracle Boyd, knocked her tooth out. Resigned because the video apparently shows him. He said, like, he lied in the police report. He basically said that she was advancing him and going, and attacking him, and had a weapon in her hand. And the video shows her backing up and him busting her in the mouth. So he quit so he could get, he could still keep his pension and get another job.
Oh wow!
Right? Because remember, you could quit and then he can go work in the suburbs and like choke out some black people there.
And I bet they hiring.
They are. Shout out to to the Congressional Black Caucus. Right? Shout out to the Congressional Black Caucus. They honored Mary McLeod Bethune yesterday. Shout out. You got Bethune-Cookman College. But I guess the thing is, Ruthie, that's what they telling us about. They ain't tell us nothing about no reparations, though. What they doing on that? You ain't heard it from me, though. All right, and like I said, Time Out Chicago ranks Chicago as the number 2 city. I'm going to talk about that at some point because I think it is the prism through which we view. And Ruthie, I was just thinking, like, what is the best of Chicago? Yesterday I went to go pick up a pizza. And when I went to go pick up the pizza, once again, I was like, these white people are living in a completely different world. Like different. Like different. And I'm just like, you know how you're privy to it, but you just like, I just can't, it's almost like hard to believe that this is happening in front of us. Like, wow, we over here. Like, I be thinking about all the stuff we talk about on this show. Mm-hmm. And then I go drive through the West Loop and I'll be like, these people, they are living their best life. And I'll be like, should I stay mad or should I just be living my best life?
Both.
Be mad and living your best life?
I mean, I'll be mad, but I still enjoy the amenities.
I'll be like, dang. I was just telling y'all. All right, it's the Maze Jackson show. I'll be like, they be cracking. Do you know it be stuff like cracking in Chicago? Like cracking.
Like that's why it is really like, you can always find something to do.
Cracking.
Like whatever you
I seen Riis watching movies on the roof.
Was it a good experience?
And let me tell you, man, I went to go watch Bad Boys, and it's a good experience. And you know what, man? Like, sometimes I wish my young people. No, it's black people. Black. I wish. Even my age, you know, it's a certain level of respect. You know, I know we grown. You're gonna do what you want to do and everything, but it's a certain level of respect that we grew up, especially when
before you got a face tat.
Older, even the PA. I done seen the biggest thugs have respect.
They usually have respect.
You know, like older people. So we go there. Like I said, everything was amazing. First of all, they need to change the security thing because you don't even get checked. So it's Chicago. You need to do something. Want somebody down or anything. It's Chicago. I need some type of. But in the middle of the movie, because you know it's on top of a roof, somebody brought their cousin. And it's like, it's cool. It's somebody's birthday. It's cool. And like, they don't even say nothing. Like, the staff walk by, seeing them smoke. But then, like, right behind them, though, it was like, you can tell, like, a little older, some older people. And, like, sometimes people come to enjoy a certain type of experience. I understand that, yeah, that's not an experience. And you got to, like, look at your surroundings. And just like respect other people, and that's all. That's all I'm saying. I ain't trying to like knock nobody, but what I'm saying, if they went for a rooftop experience, and I'm sure they.
It's like you don't give them no choice.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
I'm sure
smoking in the car.
Yeah, I'm sure they wasn't expecting to be just a weed like aroma just smacking them in the face every 5 seconds. You don't know who like got asthma problems or something like that. So but other than that, it was amazing though. But it was good though.
Okay, so I think we should do an outing. We should go. I'm gonna tell them to wind up on the people. I know the people, so I'm gonna talk to them about it, and tell them that was one of the concerns. But I think like that's one of the things that is like that's right here. Like you don't even. I'm not saying you don't know about it, but it's like when you was down there, did you see all the other stuff that was cracking over there?
Oh yeah.
It's cracking.
I actually been in that building for something else in there too.
Well, that's because, so a new company bought it.
Okay.
So what happened was it used to be the Ace Hotel. It got bought by Ani, the people that we work with, and now it is the Emily Hotel, and it's going to be an art-based hotel. Right, so it's like they're really upgrading it. They're bringing in new staff. As a matter of fact, if you know people that are looking to work in the restaurant or in the hospitality industry, please reach out to me because they are looking for people, as well as Parlor is looking for people too. So
face tats or not?
I think they actually allow that. Can I tell you? I wouldn't be bothered by a server. Like I wouldn't be bothered. And honestly, I feel like. I'm really learning to adapt to the life. Because I promise you, if I could, I would get a sleeve. Like I would have a sleeve, but I would be from here to here. So I could show it when I wanted to, but I could always keep it covered up. And that may just be my, growing up as a kid. Like I loved tattoos when I was a kid, but I always thought it made you a hoodlum. Then I got me one. Oh. Right? Like.
How did you get your first one? And how did you tell your mama? And then I'm not going to distract us from the news no more.
Okay, I'm not.
I'm just curious.
Well, I had my brands before I had my tats. So my mom was like,
you eased her in.
I didn't ease her in. She was like, you let them people burn you like that?
Man.
And then after but like after that, it was like, but she was just like, my mom is really pretty, like whatever I do is pretty okay.
That's right. You the favorite.
Yes.
See how you said yes, I am. Now Tennille said the all time. Say yes.
Now ask Tennille when she got her tattoos. Did I mess that up?
Dropping the gym.
No.
That's when you start looking at the paper. You start looking at the paper like it's not on the paper.
Right? Oh my goodness. I do not know what show we are doing today. I really don't. I promise y'all. I apologize. Oh goodness, it's the Maze Jackson show. Hey, let's do the Riis, you got the button. Let's do it. Let's try and squeeze it in before we get abstract blind state on the station. You ready to hit the button, man?
It's time for the social media question of the day.
What are the black landmarks of Chicago that need to be protected? Give us a call, 872-259-7474, 872-259-7474. Now, what sparked this was I saw a press conference from a local gadfly, Roger Romanelli. I saw a story on the news. There was a white man in Garfield Park saying that he wanted to have the circle paved over, grass grown, and bicycle paths made so that families could walk through and appreciate the park as it was meant to be. And I got to thinking about the circle and what it means to black people on the West Side. Then I got to thinking about Cabrini Green. Do you remember when they used to do Monday nights in Cabrini Green? And I'm going to put this out there like, and I don't know if this is a phenomenon that happens all over the city, but black people tend to like to hang. Right? Like, and I was always taught like by my old man that was a bad thing. Mm-hmm. But inevitably, black people like to hang. And I was thinking about Riis when he was downtown and all the wonderful things that you get to go see. But real talk, when I saw Roger on TV talking about shutting down the Circle, I thought, who is this white man coming up? And he said, look, you've got cars all over here. You've got people drinking. They've got blah, 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 blah. What was crazy was, then last night I was watching Channel 25 and I saw the Black Souls Picnic in Garfield Park. And I was thinking about what does Garfield Park and the Circle mean to people out west? And does a white man who started in the West Loop and couldn't find a niche in the West Loop move west and then take Garfield Park? Because Garfield Park is also, for y'all that don't know, where the Golden Dome is, right? But the Circle, to me, was almost like like Madison and Pulaski is the shopping hub. Like, to me, the Circle was the embodiment of the West Side. And now a white guy's trying to shut it down. And my question is, should the Circle be shut down? And are there landmarks in Black Chicago that we need to protect? I see you, Ice Cream. I'm going to put you on mute. And I see you, EP. I got both of y'all on mute. We're going to bring y'all back after the break. So anyway, are there locations or black landmarks that we need to protect in Chicago? Because I think closing down the Circle, I remember when 31st Street Beach used to be the place where everybody went to go hang.
And how was it?
Great.
Was it, did it pop off?
Yes, but that was all part of it. We was young people.
And that's what it is.
So you want to shut the Circle down? You think the Circle should be shut down?
And I think, unfortunately, not going to like me, but I think it is, man. It's too much. We can't have that mentality. We know what goes on in the Circle. We know what type of activity goes on in the Circle, and then we keep asking for a better us, so, a better tomorrow. Like, unfortunately, we don't want it because we know what it means. It's like, oh, man, we could kick it. Like you said, man, they drinking over there, smoking. People used to sell gas over there. It's everything. Everything goes on over there. And, and it's a park. It's a park. If you want to pave it and clean it up and make it look like a park, that's the park that in my childhood I went to go fishing at. So I agree. It should be cleaned up. It shouldn't be people over there doing drugs, and I shouldn't have to worry about seeing a needle over there. I shouldn't have to worry about hearing gunshots over there.
So where you gonna move it to?
Move what to?
The Circle.
Your house. You
and Riis is not gonna be moved. Riis,
go home. Go home. Tell him go home. What's wrong?
Dang, Riis, you want to shut the Circle down?
I don't want to shut it down.
The Circle is the first place I ever got robbed in Chicago.
Listen to that. Listen to your story. You see what I'm saying?
By some 14-year-olds too.
Do you see my story?
They stole my star tag. Me and Big Swill. Me, Big Swill, and Shannon. Sitting there, we was listening to music. We had the V103 van, and they stole it. Look, I'm going to take one call, then we're going to go to break. Riis, I want you to bring me up on this break. I want you to bring me an abstract mind state track. I'm going to take this call, and then we're going to come back. We're going to talk to old school Ice Green. We're going to talk to EP the Hellcat. We're going to talk about the golden days, but then we're going to talk about dreams still inspire, because, man, y'all, we got a lot going on. Go ahead, caller, real quick.
Hey, man, I'm going to just make this real quick, bro. I ain't grow up in Chicago, so, I don't really know nothing. But I think the only landmark in Chicago is you, old man. You the landmark. We're going to put you on a statue downtown and you the landmark, bro. And you just going to point to the west side every day and talk about the 1950s when you grew up, man. Cause that's what we gonna do, bro. Shots fired. Have fun. ATL running, baby.
All right, y'all. That was Devil, and that's what. See, he a fake Bears fan too. Look, y'all. All right, I can't even tell y'all how excited I am because coming up when we come back, we are going to be talking to two pioneers of Chicago hip hop. Right? Like I don't toss that word around lightly, and I think with 25 years of reflection and having the opportunity to look back, you recognize the role that you played in the formation of what we know today. And so, y'all, I cannot wait to come back and talk to Chicago hip-hop pioneers back on the road, still living their dreams. Abstract Midstate, they will be back with us after these messages. You look out, it's the Maze Jackson Show.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Hey, Chicagoland, all roads lead to Solo Beauty Supply, the largest black-owned beauty supply in Chicago. We carry a large selection of natural hair care products, plus much more. So come see us at one of our two locations, located at 9011 South Ashland or 8158 South Cottage Grove. Our inventory is growing, and with your support, Solo Beauty will continue to be a source of pride in our community.
This might be a small thing, kind of revolving around the situation that don't happen often. I mean, it's involving something that's scalding. Hot the topic is, it needs some resolving. It's kind of puzzling, sometimes solving. But after I thought about it, sent her to Walgreens to pick up a few things to stop me from stalling. Otherwise, I'ma be blunt and she gon' be balling. And I don't need that, or her brother calling, talking them fight words. Now we gon' be brawling. I'm more of a stand-up, I don't be falling for that okie doke. It's better dissolving. Call me a nice guy, yeah, I like nice things. It's best to stay away from chicks that's trifling. I'm not a rival, so I don't be rivaling. But end up in this scene, I won't be wifing, you know.
Avoid a quick fail, take heed to this wise tale.
If you feel me like real, take heed to this wise tale.
Whether male or female, take heed to this wise tale.
Outside or in jail, take heed to this wise tale.
She got a secret, don't know where she keep it, don't know why she hide it, guess it's convenient. She like a zebra, two things at one time. It ain't black and white when you lived it a lifetime. She got a story, might be a fable, no categories. She don't like labels, she like a loner. Maybe she's selfish, something is fishy, but she don't like shellfish. She said that her phone broke and she need a new phone. She got a night job, now she got two phones, one for the pubic, one for the public. I Freudian slip, y'all, I think that you dug it. She got a curfew, she live in the group home, but she in Miami, getting her look on. She can't be truthful, not what she built for. Mouth might be useful, but nothing to kill for, you know?
Avoid a quick fail, take heed to this wise tale.
If you feel me like Braille, take heed to this wise tale.
Whether male or female, take heed to this wise tale.
Outside or in jail, take heed to this wise tale.
Move your body, don't nobody party like your body. Pardon me, but I'm through. I got eyes on something that ain't you. I done seen how you move and heard about what you do. So I don't want no parts of that art. Hourglass figure, but not too smart. I done seen you with a couple of guys, couple of drinks, couple of hands all on your thighs. And I already see your next Vic. Free drinks and a couple of neck tricks. I'm not sure.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, man. And y'all, I cannot lie to y'all. I'm excited. I want to make sure y'all give me a heads up if y'all can hear me. EP and Old School Ice Cream, just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, because I can see you. Make sure I know you got. Okay, I see you. Okay, good. All right, y'all. I've been talking smack all day. I've been fired up. I've been giving y'all new music. Look, y'all been like, wait, they got some new music on the show. What is going on? Let me tell you. We've been trying to get this thing together since I don't know how long. But about a year ago, I get a phone call. And it's a brother that I've known for, I can say it's got to been over 20 years at this point. And he says, Maze. And my phone rings and I say, who is this? And it's Old School Ice Green. And I say, wait a minute, Old School Ice Green, worldwide Old School Ice Green? You calling me? What's up, brother? What's going on? Ice Green says, Maze. And you got to know Ice Green because he's a positive brother, so he always calling you it's like you could always hear the kind of the smile in his voice, and he like, man, you know, you was always down with us, you was always down with Abstract Mindstate. When we did the Sprite mixtape, whenever you did something, you was always down, and we are filming a documentary. But not only are we filming a documentary, we are putting a band back together, and we are creating music that is needed for today. But I would wonder if you would be willing to be in our documentary. Would I be? Now, first of all, y'all know I'm a full-time media whore, so I'm going to definitely be in the video. But what stood out to me was the fact that here at 40 plus, this brother and this sister were coming back into a much changed market. But when they was coming back into this much changed market, they was coming back with the inspiration, the endorsement. And it was almost like a full circle because Greg told me, Old School Ice Green told me that Kanye West stepped to him and said, the world needs your music. And so let's get this thing together. No sooner did I turn around, they got a new album on the streets. I got so much I want to talk about. I got so many things that I think are important. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get it all in this half hour, so we might go over a little bit. But let me welcome to Chicago. And Riis, what I need you to do is come back to the first track. And I want that underneath this conversation. Bring it down low because everybody was like, man, we got new music. Oh, that's fresh. I was like, that's Chicago. Y'all don't even know. But let me do this real quick because I'm going to turn the floor over in just a hot second. Let me welcome to the Maze Jackson Show my friends, artists that I still look forward to listening to and can't wait to see this weekend because they are performing live at the Silver Room Block Party. Chicago, welcome home. Old School Ice Green and EP the Hellcat, better known as Abstract Mindstate. Welcome back, fam. What's going on, y'all?
What up?
Maze Jack.
What?
What up, brother?
We ain't heard that in a minute. Maze Jizzat.
What up? Right,
Right.
So let's back up.
We need you to pull that Sprite truck up, man, so we can do a mixtape or something.
Oh, see, they don't even know nothing about that Sprite truck, boy. Look, it's funny because you talk about, I got a picture in my office that is hanging up from the Sprite truck, and this kind of ties into it. You know who was working on that truck at the time? Jay Ivy. Jay Ivy was actually passing out Sprites from that truck back in the day. Cause y'all, we were building. I was. If you heard me in my intro, I said you all are, what I consider now Chicago pioneers. Back in the day, I would say I don't know what was going on, but looking back at what all of us were trying to do, because we were trying to create and build an industry in Chicago. Man. It's like looking back, I can't believe it's been 20 plus years. So let's start here, Old School and EP. Talk to me. Tell me, first of all, tell me about what is going on. And you all are back in the business. Back up. Tell me origins. Start with the origin of Abstract Mindstate, because I think that's where we got to start.
Yeah. Well, Abstract Mindstate started on campus of one of the greatest HBCUs in existence.
If
Jackson
not the
State
greatest.
What is that?
If not the greatest.
If not, right. The greatest HBCU in existence, Jackson State University. We met there on that campus on the yard, and that was the meeting of me and EP, and later to form Abstract Mind State. Like we met. It's funny, we met in the year 1990. That was EP's freshman year. I guess that was like a second semester or sophomore or whatever. Yeah, I guess. Yep. And then we formed Abstract around 93, I think it was. And we've been doing that ever since. And like you were just saying, from then, I mean, the formation was on the campus of Jackson State. And we went through all kinds of stuff, which I'm sure we'll talk about. And let's just say in 2019, Kanye had the great idea that the world needed to hear us, said we were going to heal people and change lives. He said they were ready they were ready for us again. And he pretty much talked us into convinced us that, it's something that we should do. We should come back and do an Abstract album. And he said he wanted to fully produce it. He said we wasn't going to have to play rapper. We wasn't going to have to do all of the crazy things we see these artists do just to get attention. He was like, we're just going to put some real art out in the world, and Dream Still Inspired was birthed from that idea.
Dreams Still Inspired. Talk to me about what exactly Dreams. Talk to me about the album. Talk to me about the album and the documentary. Shout out to Trezana as well for putting together the documentary. Talk to me about the vision behind Dreams Still Inspired.
Well, the vision behind Dreams Still Inspired was to stay in our vein, right? And keep doing the music that made Ye want to put us back out anyway, to keep doing the same type of music that we were doing that inspired Chicago hip hop and the youth back then when we in our initial heyday. So Dream Still Inspired is a group of songs that basically promote living right, promote growth, promote positivity and energy, and how what you put out into the universe is equally what you get back. The documentary, Maze, pretty much tells you the story from beginning to end up until right now of Abstract Mind State, the whole where we met, everything that we did in between, why there was a separation, why there was a reformation of Abstract Mind State. Like it goes through every little piece of Abstract Mind State history up until now. And like the album, I still listen to the album now, and it's amazing to me that we were able to sound exactly the way that we used to sound, because we hadn't been together in so long as far as sitting down writing songs, Maze. It was after the initial writer's block that I didn't have. I had it. Gree didn't have it though. I had a writer's block, but after that, it was crazy because everything just started falling into place, and we had a formula back then. It wasn't unsaid. It was unspoken, and we just recaptured that. And I think in his infinite wisdom, Ye knew that that's what would happen, because when he was listening to the songs, when we were recording them, he was more excited about them than we were, So it was I think that this brand of music is needed. I think that it's needed for more artists than us. We don't know how to do anything else. You understand? Like we don't know how to make anything else but music for growth. We've never, of course we got lyrics, man. We got lyrics.
Yeah, I know that's why I was like, we got to have him on the Sprite mixtape all the time. Get him.
Yeah, but we just just stay in our lane and try to motivate and produce something that's good. Like Old School said earlier, just put good art out into the world.
Talk to me, y'all, about this, because you'll get into it in the documentary. First of all, tell people how they can get the album and the documentary. Also, make sure, let's tell everybody, because you are going to be appearing this weekend, so I think we want to make sure we get all that out. So let me let you, first of all, tell everybody where they can get the album and the documentary, where they can follow up and watch all of that.
Well, yeah, of course. The album is available on all streaming platforms. Whatever your choice of, digital download, digital streaming, we're on everything. It's not one that we're not on. All you got to do is put Abstract Midstate, and Midstate is one word, and then Dream Still Inspire, and you'll get that. That's the album. It's available everywhere, all digital platforms, as well as YouTube Music and all of that. So. But the documentary is not available for public consumption yet, because it's going, as you may have seen through some of the social media or some of the promotion, it's going through the film festival circuit right now. So, because of that, one of the rules of the film festivals is that it doesn't publicly premiere. So we can have private screenings. That's why in the beginning, we had a little 6-city run where we did some private screenings, and we're going to do some more of those, but they're invite only. They're small, screening room type of vibes, just to, get a condensed invited amount of people in the room and let them check it out. And it's just to cause the chitter chatter and expose individuals that we feel should see it or who have been a part of it, to get a chance to check it out before, we get into any potential distribution or something like that. So that's how that's going. So the documentary isn't available for public consumption yet, but it will be once we finish our film festival circuit.
Old School.
And this weekend,
Go ahead.
because you wanted to put that shameless plug in there.
Yep.
Silver Room Block Party, Abstract Midstate taking the beach stage at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
This Saturday, the 16th. Y'all know how that stage show goes. So come treat yourself.
And look, and shout out to the Silver Room, because it's funny, since I live in LA now, and I knew I've been knowing about the Silver Room Block Party since it was on North Avenue. And are we good over there?
Yeah, we good. Got you.
Okay. No, I was saying shout out to the Silver Room, because EP spoke on growth, and I just have to give them their props for growth, because I remember the Silver Room Block Party was just 1 North Avenue. That was it. And then since I left, it moved to Hyde Park, and from my understanding, in 2019 they had 50,000 people in attendance, and now it's gotten so big that they had to move it to Bronzeville, over to the Oakwood Beach. And now it's larger than life, and it's 2 main stages, two regular stages, and we're blessed to be on one of the main stages. Like EP said, we're on the beach stage, and it's just crazy, man. And I'm sure since they had 50 last time, I'm sure they're expecting like 75 to 100 this time. So it's gonna be a good time.
Y'all gonna tear it down. So let's do this, because I want to go back a little bit. I want to go back in the time machine. And I want you to talk to me about Abstract Midstate in Chicago in the late 90s, early 2000s. I want to talk about the environment that was happening, because I used to like to call it the golden era of hip hop in Chicago. However, I'm starting to think we might have been more in the pioneer era, because you've seen a couple of different waves. But I was explaining to people that during the time that we were really fighting to get a hip hop voice in Chicago, there weren't very many outlets, mass outlets for us to get Chicago music played. Talk to me about what it was like to be a Chicago artist in the late 90s, early 2000s, especially in the realm of hip hop, coming out of I feel like our growth was stunning because of house music. But talk to me about that environment, because it was sort of competitive, but it was also a lot of camaraderie, that we were trying all to make a name for ourselves. Talk to me about that time.
Yeah. Well, let me say this. I don't think house stunted the hip hop movement because all of us who were super house, because I was a house head, all of us who were super house were also the break dancers and the the cats that was popping and just graffiti and all of that. It's like house music at least gave us an outlet to dance and get that energy out. And then when the hip hop thing hit Chicago, most of the people who were super house heads, we just transitioned into hip hop real easy. So I don't think it stunted us. I think it probably prepared us for what was to come. To be honest, but that scene, EP, I'm sure EP feel the same way as me. But that scene was amazing. It was because it wasn't many, in the 90s. And it's funny because the kids that's enjoying it now from Chicago are it's so many of them, and it's really dope to see how many of them are on. But back in our era, Maze, when I say our, I'm including you too. We only had a handful. We literally had a couple from the West Side, maybe one, like we had Crucial Conflict, we had Twister and Psychodrama, and all of the guys that kind of fit in their crew. And then on the South Side, you had Common, and that was it. Like it was pretty much it, and we had Graf too, who was a transient from New York, but he came and he planted his feet early, so he came up with us. But pretty much Common was the king on the South Side, and it was so much camaraderie and so much support because all of the people we named. What was dope about the golden era was there was really no, or what we like to call the golden era of Chicago hip hop. It was really no separation because if you were good, if you were rocking your shows, if you were putting it down, all of those people came. At least in our case, everybody came to our shows and supported us, and it was amazing, and it felt good when we would look out there and see Common, or Crucial, or come across one of the guys. It was just an amazing feeling then because we didn't know where it was going at the time. We just wanted to be a part of it on the international level. Everybody, when I say we.
EP, talk to me about being a sister during that time. What was it like for you as a woman and a rapper in Chicago being hip hop? Because I know that there were some women making names for themselves as well during that time. Talk to me about that. Talk to me about how that played out for you.
So Gree and I, like the crazy part about one of the things he said was that I'm gonna go back to what he said about everybody supporting everybody, and how everybody showed up for everybody's shows. And I always thought that was one of the dopest things about being an MC from Chicago, especially, during the time during like 90s, early 90s, mid 90s, like everybody showed up for everybody. Regardless, because this Chicago, so everybody wasn't doing hip hop. A lot of people was rapping, but everybody wasn't doing hip hop. Right. But it made no difference what your niche in music was or rap was, whether you did hip hop or street or you was twisting or whatever you was doing. Like everybody showed up for everybody. And as far as like females, I never really like put myself in a category of being like a female rapper. Okay. Like, and I don't think people who heard us did either. I think they just used to say, she dope, she can write. Like, and I don't think it has ever been a time when people have compared any chick from Chicago like to me. And that's not like I got MCs, that female rappers from the crib that I listen to. Like I listen to Ange, growing up. You know what I'm saying? I love Nuisance. I like it's certain MCs that like that's just so dope to me, and that I still would listen to and be like, man, she that right there, because I always thought of myself as a writer and a performer, and I never would, like Gree will tell you this, I never would I just wrote, Maze. I just wrote, and when and Gree would come up with these concepts of these songs, like he still does, same formula, and I just write. And so I'm looking at hip hop now in Chicago, and I'm looking at hip hop then in Chicago. It's pretty much the same. Like 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 when the last time, other than us, a hip hop group came out of Chicago. Hip hop.
You know, I don't know. I think at this point, Chicago is now left kind of the hip hop space, and they are now taking on the drill kind of space.
But this the thing, it's still some dope hip hop artists at the crib, from the crib.
Why do you think hip hop artists though has such a challenge in Chicago? Because I think when you think about Chicago and the music scene, realistically, it was common on the South Side, and the South Side kind of had the kind of closed universe as it related to kind of that inner circle.
Maze, I've been told I was from the South Side ever since Abstract Mindstate been out. No, I think people right now still just realizing, oh, she from out west. EP from out west, born and raised. Austin, let's go.
That's great. That is so crazy because I tell you, I really only see y'all as Southside rap, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that because like the Southside was straight like hip hop, and out west was very much kind of Matt's Crew, Drummer Ward, kind of gangster. You know what I'm saying? And it was always love and camaraderie. Let me do this. Let me fast forward a little bit. Because you all were starting, in my estimation, to really peak, and then all of a sudden, nothing. Like I feel like I looked up one day, like I felt like it was this whole thing that was starting to bubble and perk, and I see my man Lee Majors, and I see Craig, and I see y'all blow, and then nothing. What happened?
Man, it was, we fell the victim of one of those age-old hip-hop stories. We put in a whole lot of work. You were there to see the work we put in. And back then, it wasn't about the internet or any kind of social media. You literally had to, quote-unquote, physically put the work in. Like, you had to be out on the streets. You had to be doing as many shows as possible. And me and EP did like 100 shows a year, which sounds almost impossible to do, unsigned, but we did, and what it was we built that up. I shared that with you to say we built that thing up. We built this work ethic. We became that group, Chicago's hardest working. We became that group that you're going to see, you're going to put on, we're going to do this, that, and the third. And I'm going to be honest, Maze, and a lot of people, it's hard to argue with this, and a lot of people who are looked at as pioneers in our music scene, or just who have made strides in various areas in music, entertainment, or fashion, or whatever, they'll tell you we were the first to really like go, one of the first, because I shout out to All Natural, that was Cap D and Tone Be Nimble, but we were super independent. That's where I was going with that. If there was a Master P and Cash Money of Chicago, I mean in terms of purposely independent, and we're gonna do this ourselves, that was All Natural and their family tree click, and then Abstract Mindstate and our family. So what happened was we ended up taking a chance with some young guys with an independent label that had distribution out of Atlanta. It was called 404 Music Group.
I remember that.
You remember 404 Music Group? And
I do.
What's funny about 404, they were only known for kind of like TBT, which is what TBT records or TV tunes. They were only known for putting out soundtracks and television, tunes and stuff like that. And they really got into trying to put out records. And they gave these young guys a distribution deal and gave them a nice little chunk of money. And at the time, that chunk of money looked like a lot. And these guys, particularly one guy in the group, and I'm not going to even say his name, but we actually cool now. But I ain't gonna give him no shine because he screwed up, and it's almost joking for me to say it like this now, but. Man, he particularly because he was the business in their collective, that ego and the arrogance that they had, they wouldn't allow us to do what we needed to do, or bigger than that, because I knew the business better than them, I was trying to help them help us. And he, their ego or his ego wouldn't let him accept my help. And it turned into literally almost a fist fight. And before you know it, we had signed this deal with them thinking this is going to be super cool. We can stay independent. They got distribution, and we're going to do this kind of like I say, the way Master P and Cash Money did it. And man, these dudes like took the money and ran, and it screwed everything up. And that put us in the position of a hardcore scramble. And what I mean is, after that, now we're saying, okay, what do we do to get this music out? Now we trying to put out mixtapes or start figuring out ways out. And so I went to New York. At the time, how it was. That was still, it's not now, but that was still that era where, man, hip hop is in New York, and if you want to make it happen, you better go to New York. So I was like, man, I'm going to New York to get us get us a better situation. And at this time, we were so like disappointed and upset over how these guys handled everything that we was willing to take a deal at this time. So now I'm out there taking meetings with all these labels. And the long story short, I forgot that Kanye had moved out there a year before I got out there. And when I got out there, Cootie, who I connected with the day I landed, he told Kanye I was out there. Kanye said, man, bring Ice Gree to my crib. And everything transitioned from then to me becoming a part of his team and helping him because he had one foot in at Rockefeller. And from that point on, I just kind of saw a bigger picture, like, you know what, this dude got a better chance. So let me help him. And maybe, along the way, I'll make enough connects to help us a little later. But right now, I need to make some money while I'm in New York. I need to make some connections. And I wanted to be a part of something great. And it just felt like something was happening there. And, as we could see the results of Kanye's career, we saw what happened. So
now, Ice Gree, I gotta say, dog. So you go to New York, you break out, and you go and you click up with Kanye. What happened to EP, fam? Like,
well,
EP, you didn't want to come. EP, you didn't want to come to New York. You was what happened, sis?
So what the part that Gree left out was the thing that happened with 404 Music. No, the thing that happened with 404 Music kept happening, Maze. Yeah. That thing with the finances and all of that stuff, it kept happening. Yeah. No matter how great the product that we had to give the world was, we would get right there at the precipice and it'll just evaporate. And it was always finances. And like Gree says in the documentary, we had so many downs, he was just looking for an up. And at that time, both of us was tired as hell, man. We was tired. We was tired. That took a toll on it. It never took a toll on us like our relationship, he and I's, but it took a toll on each one of us individually. And if you can't deal with your individual shit, you know how that go. We grown now. We can go and say it. If you can't deal with your individual life and you trying to become one in a entity, those things need to be worked on first. So when he left for New York, it was something that was unsaid. Like, we didn't even have a conversation about it. He went out there, and then I looked up, and shit, he ain't come back, But this is the thing. Like, I would reach out, every few months and throughout all of those years. Like, there was never anything said about Abstract Midstate coming back or doing anything else until after my brother passed. After my brother was killed, after my baby brother was killed, one of my cousins or somebody reached out to Gree and told Gree that I just want to do the music. But I don't even, like, I was thinking about the music, but it wasn't even nothing that was, like, I was thinking about getting myself on my feet more so than anything. And the way the music, I think, came into my head is he had such a great, like, Steel Pan is one of the dopest albums. Maze, we got an album, if you ever listen to Bandcamp, that Steel Pan album, wow.
It never came out.
The Steel Pan album never came out. It never came out. And we already had the product. We already had the thing to put out. So if we could have just got the finances behind it to put it out, that's something that could have happened. And again, we got it and it went away. You know what I'm saying? We got it and it went away again. So I didn't have a problem with Gree going to New York for whatever reason, because I knew it had to do with music. And what a lot of people don't know about me personally, music was never my end all be all. Never. It was his. Music has always been what Gree wanted to do. Like that's like I don't like when I met him, I never saw him being anything else but in the music business, for nothing else. Like nothing else. Even when we was hustling and everybody had to get jobs and stuff, I see him, you know what I'm saying, with his slacks and shit on, man. And I'll be looking at that. I'll be looking at him like, that's just one of these things are not like the other. You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't going together. You know, so I always saw that for him. So there was no hard feelings. There was no angst about it. That gave him time to find what he was looking to be in music, and it gave me time to try to restore my family, you know, after the death of my brother, and save his kids. So
let's stop.
That's what we was doing in the meantime, between time.
So this okay. I gotta tell you, I feel like what's them behind the music. This feels like one of those behind the music moments. And EP, I know you gotta get to the gig, so I'm gonna make sure I let you get to the gig. But I can't. I gotta get some more out of this interview because this has been super dope. So now I agree. EP is at the crib working on the family. You touched down in New York, like so many people in Chicago who came to New York did. The first call you make is to Cootie, right? I touched down in New York. We touched down. I think anybody touched down in New York, and the first thing they do is pick up the phone and they call Cootie and say, Cootie, I'm in New York. And Cootie will get to, oh, man, let me connect you with such and such. Hey, man, meet us over here. And talk to me about arriving in New York, because I agree you were part of what I call a movement, a migration, a creative migration that of Chicago that happened in New York. I remember it was like you, Shocky, Cootie, just you name it. Just everybody was going to New York. And there was a time when there was like a New York nucleus, a Chicago, New York nucleus. Am I getting that right? Yeah. Yes? No?
No, you're correct. It was, like you said, it was me, Shocky, Cootie, Kanye had moved out there, Common moved out there, even Michi moved out there because she was, you know, at one point over Summer Stage. And, you know, like it was a lot of us who were doing things in Chicago that we all like we all migrated to New York because, you know, all of us felt like, you know, if you're going to be related to anything in music or something, you know, music specifically, we needed to be in New York. So, and here's the funny thing. I definitely want to tag this because it's a proud moment for us as a group. The reason Cootie was the first person I touched down with is because for a couple of reasons. One, Cootie is the reason I know Kanye, you know, and then take it back farther than that. Here's our proud moment. If you remember, man, for us to get signed, and it was independent at the time, regardless to what people thought, it was a big deal for everybody, and the city was in support of us. And everybody who's doing it really, really big now was on our first album. We Paid Let Us In, whether you were doing skits or you were on the record. We had Kanye on it as a producer. We had Twilight Tone on it as a producer. We had Kamikaze, David Banner. We had Cootie, Leon Cole, and all of them was doing skits on the record. Jay Ivy opened and closed it with poetry with Tari Teray singing, you know, with him. Like, you got to understand, our freshman album was everybody's inauguration to a real studio work and doing it on a level that looked like it was about to be international. And what I'll say to just give my, you know, where I can toot my own horn is I always dreamed of being an A&R, which I am now. I was A&R in that situation, and everybody we liked, I felt like, man, these are the best of the best in our city, and we wanted them on. I was like, they're going to be on our record. So all of these ideas EP and I had, we just placed the best of the best in those positions. So if it was a film, we put them in some roles and they played a character. And now look at all of the people I just named. I named Deion Cole. You know, I named Cootie. I named Jay Ivy. We talking about Grammy, Emmy, you know, movies, television, you know, all of the people that was Kanye, Twilight, you know, I mean, these people went on to be the greats, you know, and we were everybody's like first, like, you know what I mean? I mean, of course, Twilight was on Common's projects because that was his crew. But I'm saying, you know, in terms of the latter, you know, everybody was there. So yeah, man. So I just wanted to say that was just a proud moment. But so calling Cootie, when I landed, I called Cootie, and here's what a lot of people didn't know. I was about to become the new host of Channel Zero. So
what?
I just threw one at you.
Oh, hell no! What you mean you was gonna become the new host? Where was Cootie going?
So check it out. This was when Cootie realized he was more into filming and directing than doing even comedy at the time. Because remember, Cootie was a stand-up comedian.
Right.
He did 2 seasons of Comic View. When I got to New York, I did. I would do a comedy store, not comedy store. I didn't mean to say that. Comedy club. I'll call it a tour, but I would do comedy club runs with Cootie. Cootie used to perform at every comedy club all over New York, and I'm talking about not just Manhattan in the inner city. We used to go far, like, you know, different parts of New York. You know, hour away, 2 hours away. You know, and so Cootie decided that, man, I really like being behind the camera. He had a vision early about directing and all of that, and he wanted me to become the new host. And we actually shot an episode of Channel Zero in New York with me hosting. So I don't know, whatever. I'm sure Cootie keeps everything like me. He probably still has that footage. But the point is, my first day there, we went in New York and we went to, like, I think Soho and all these areas. And I hosted an episode of Channel Zero as the new host. And the next day, he ended up telling Kanye, man, Ice Gree is here. He done moved to New York. And that's when Kanye said, yo, man, bring Ice Gree to my crib. Because what happened right before Kanye left Chicago, probably spent the last month or so or two of him being in Chicago before moving, we started spending a lot of time together. And we became really, really good friends. So when he left, over his first maybe 5 to 6 months of being gone, he and I would talk, if not every day, every other day. And we would just talk about what's going on with him. And he would share stories of who he worked with. And all that was exciting to me because I was still in Chicago. I just needed something to keep me energized to push hard for Abstract Mindstate, you know. So that's how that happened. That's why Cootie was my first call. And then Kanye was probably maybe the second person that I saw when I first moved there, you know.
So you jump in again, because I think that the things that so Ice Cream, what did you wind up doing? So for all of these years in between, what were you doing for Kanye in this space when you got to Kanye? Because you, brother, I've watched you, seen you from everything from the Grammys to the worldwide. You actually became I feel like you essentially became Kanye's go-to guy for damn near everything. If I'm correct, tell me what I'm missing.
No, yeah, that's what happened. I became his.
Well, let me say this before Gree make his comment. Ye literally told Gree out of his mouth, he said, if you do what you did for Abstract Mindstate, I'll be the biggest thing in music. So that's what Greg did.
Yeah.
The same thing that he did for us.
See, okay, so EP, that's so important. That's so important because I think a lot of times there are people behind the scenes that make things go that oftentimes people don't see. My sister is sort of like that for me. Ice Gree, you became the guy for Kanye. Talk to me about how does that happen? And then what is it like to go from Kanye, who is like, let my niggas in, to the biggest star in the world, bro? Like, what? How does that happen? How does that happen? Talk to me about that.
Yeah. Well, here it is. Well, I'll say what I did. First of all, one of the things that I can stand on and proudly stand on, and Don C, John Monopoly, everybody on his original team, and later when we all were together, will back this statement up. That's why I get to say it. I get to say it on documentaries because it's 100% the truth. I always say that I had nothing to do with Kanye as a producer, right? It's a lot of people who he did what he had to do from the No IDs to the John Monopoly as a manager, his first manager to really get him his first placements, to later, G Roberson and hip hop. All of those people, Kanye the producer, all of them get their credit. When Kanye was really ready to take it to the next level as an artist, and he was tired of people not taking him serious, somehow he turned to me. And like what EP said, he looked at me and he said, if you do for me what you did for Abstract Mindstate, I'll become the biggest thing in hip hop. Now, at the time in New York, he needed some help. And he said, I'm putting together a team. And he told me he needed an assistant. And you got to realize, at that point, Abstract Mindstate, we were a bigger group than him. We were more known. We had done more, definitely, I definitely done more. So it was like, oh, I love you for that update. but we had done more. So it was kind of like, what are we doing here? I felt, the hip hop or the rapper ego started to kick in. Like, wait a minute, how you gonna ask me to be your assistant?
Right.
When I'm hotter than you, actually, I'm hotter than you. So, but I also, and EP will tell you, I've always been a businessman. So right there, when the rapper ego may have sat on my left shoulder, the businessman on the right shoulder said, well, hold on. This dude has one foot in the door at Rockefeller, which is the hottest label in the game at this time. So what do you do? So I said, well, okay, Kanye, you need an assistant. I said, who's running your production company? And then he said, well, nobody is running it. I said, well, if you make me the head of business affairs of your production company, which was called Con Man Productions at the time.
I remember that.
You remember Con Man Productions?
Yes.
I still have my business cards to this day that you will see. It says head of business affairs / personal assistant to Kanye West. So I asked him if he would make me head of business affairs, I'll be his assistant. And then he looks at me and says, well, there's nobody signed to my production company but me. I said, it don't matter. I just needed the title to make my spirit, to make my spirit feel better. So that's how it started, Maze. And so Manop and Don and all of them, all of the codes, Abstract, you got to realize I had worked at Loud Records in 1995. I was the first one out of Chicago that worked at a major. Although Loud was an independent, it was a major independent. It was under it was a subsidiary of RCA Records. Steve Rifkin. Everybody know Loud Records birthed Wu-Tang Clan and Mobb Deep and the Alcoholics and all of that. So I had worked major projects. I mean, worked hard in publicity on them. So I knew how to do things that nobody on his team knew how to do. I knew how to do things that most people at that time didn't know how to do. Because again, like Don said on our documentary, I had the codes because I worked at a major, a minor major label. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I brought all of my publicity, strength. You got to realize I had firsthand relationships all the way to face knowing them with record pools nationwide, because I handled that when I was at Loud Records. I had relationships with they used to be called fanzines. There used to be like Right On and Break Beat or whatever it was, Black Beat and all them different. They called those fanzines. I had all of the fanzines on lock. It was a lot of them. And they used to have to talk to me to do their interviews for the artists at Loud. So I built relationships with them. So I had all of these publicity level relationships so I start, even Kanye, I don't even know if Kanye remember how much I did in the beginning in terms of getting him his first interview. I actually wrote Kanye's first bio, got him his first real photo shoot. I did the same thing for Syndicate. Shauna Antifa will tell you that. I wrote their bio and wrote their got their first photo shoot, and I put Kanye's press kit together. And at this point, I started helping him get interviews as he was doing what became his one of his first real nationwide known mixtapes, which was "Get Well Soon," because it was after the accident. You know,
I agree. So let me jump in right there real quick, because my question is, how do you, as an artist, put your ego to the side, and then once you start to realize that by putting your ego to the side and making this person, is there a point in which you are maybe somewhat envious, or at some point saying, damn, this I'm giving somebody else my dream? And EP, right, as you're seeing this happen, are you saying, dog, what you doing? Why you ain't plugging us? Or are you still more in the mode of, I'm still focused on my family and you're not paying attention so much to what Ice Gree is doing?
Focused on my family, not paying attention, because the trust between us, like he would have reached back. Like if as soon as it was something open for us, you know what I'm saying, he would have reached back. You know, and I was supremely confident of that. So, but I couldn't, like, the music thing was not gonna work for me. I couldn't go to New York. You know, my brother left these kids here. You know what I'm saying? You know, he gone. I couldn't leave and go to New York and bounce. And like, there's no Abstract Mind State without Greg and EP. You know what I mean? So it's really nothing. Even if he ran into all of these different things for us to do out there, Maze, like it would have been so hard for me to just bounce, because I had to get jobs. I went back to school, you know what I'm saying? So I can take care of my brother's kids. So, like, for me, even if Gree would have got on the phone and said, hey, EP, we got a meeting or something, that shit would have been so stressful for me, trying to bounce and go to New York and take care of these kids, man. It wasn't gonna happen. So I was seeing what he was doing, you know. But like I said earlier, Maze, the music thing wasn't never, you know, I listened to hip hop, but like I wasn't entrenched in it like that outside of Abstract Mind State. Like, so I would hear, you know, I would holler at Craig and everybody, and they'd be like, man, you see Greg was on so-and-so. And I'm like, no, man, I ain't even see it. And I try to go check it out, like even a couple of years ago, you know, before we started back on our trek, you know. But I couldn't be concerned about it. Like I didn't, you know, I always wanted what's best for him and, you know, all of that, but I had to still focus on what I needed to focus on.
Dang, I love this. So Ice Gree.
Yeah.
Man, bro. So you start out bigger than Kanye. He asked you to be your assistant. You like, dog, how you gonna ask me to be your assistant? You need to be assisting me. I put you, because I gotta feel like, you know, there's a point in Chicago, right? And this goes to a pioneer status, right? Where you start to say, okay, dog, I got a little local celebrity. I done some things. I done seen some stuff, and I know better. Tell me, what is it like to be the bridesmaid, not the bride?
Right.
And how do you manage that ego-wise?
Right.
And stay humble and still stay on your path?
Right. Well, the way I managed to do it, because it's extremely hard for most, because I've seen it even with him, with other people that wasn't me. It's extremely hard when you're next to somebody that successful, you know, as successful as he got. But for me, the reason it never was a point of jealousy or contention or even envy was because, to be honest, like, the only way I can say it is I felt like I was a part of it. You know, I bought into it, meaning like I knew what I did. Now, I'll be honest, Maze, years later, before branding, you know, this whole thing called branding now. Branding wasn't a thing back then, but before branding became a thing, it was just great to be a part of something majorly successful. And I'll be honest, Maze, what satisfied my ego was, and I told EP this, she heard me say this countless nights, I knew I could do it. I knew that the things that I thought you were supposed to do and how to do it, I knew it would work. You get what I'm saying? If money wasn't a factor. And that was the big hurdle that everybody has jumped over in this new generation of music, especially in hip hop. These guys got a whole bunch of money now. They're making money fast because they're able to get right to their fan base, and it creates a demand early. So these guys or these promoters or whoever or festival owners, they're ready to pay them right out the gate. Well, you remember, Maze, back then, that was impossible, bro. You had to have some money. You either had your